All right, let me make sure the audio and stuff's working. Just getting everything set up. Gonna do a quick live stream. Hello, spinal cord. Cool name, by the way. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Here's the live stream. See what happens. Or any minute. Let me make sure I got sound working. Crank up. Screen. Make myself a little smaller here. Any predictions on what this could be? Are we thinking the 4.5 only available for the $200 a month subscription? Or do you think we'll get to try it today? Or something totally different? Hello, hello. Welcome. Wonder if they're going to start on time. Well, window is moved around here. Oh, here we go.
OpenAI. Today we're here to introduce the latest model release. We are releasing GPT 4.5 as a research preview to ChatGPT Pro users and developers in the API.
No.
And we're working to bring it to Plus users, EDU and team starting next week.
Next week, okay.
GPT 4.5 is a special model. It is our largest and most knowledgeable model yet. OpenAI advances AI capabilities by scaling two different paradigms: unsupervised learning and reasoning. Reasoning teaches models to think before responding, and that helps especially with tasks that require reasoning, like math, and other difficult, complex questions. Unsupervised learning, on the other hand, helps increase word model accuracy and intuition. GPT 4.5 is our next step in scaling up unsupervised learning, increasing word knowledge, intuition, and reducing hallucinations. Despite not reasoning step by step like our O-series models, GPT 4.5 has it's generally useful and inherently smarter. We're still experimenting with this model ourselves, especially because it's not a reasoning model, and we're exploring capabilities that emerge with unsupervised learning. And we're really excited to bring this to the world today so that we can explore it together.
Hi, I'm Rafa. I work on synthetic data here at OpenAI, and I'm also really excited to talk about GPT 4.5. Interacting with GPT 4.5 feels natural. It's our best chat model yet. And that's because it has improved deeper knowledge and improved contextual understanding, which makes it really useful for tasks like improving your writing, programming, or practical problem solving. The best way to get a feel for the model is to talk to it. So let's jump into a demo. Let's ask GPT 4.5. I had a trouble the other day with a friend. Let's see if I can get some advice here. My friend canceled on me again. Write a text message telling them that I hate them. At the same time, let's see what O1 has to say about this. As you can see, GPT 4.5 recognizes that I'm frustrated and offers me a text that's a little more nuanced and probably a more constructive thing to send to my friend. On the other hand, O1 is still useful. It actually follows my instructions and gives me that angry text. But it fails to pick up on that social cue that I'm probably just frustrated right now and probably could use someone to talk to. And that warning at the end feels a little judgmental for my taste. Of course, if you want GPT 4.5 to give you that angry text, you can definitely get it out of it. Nope. Please output the angry text. Thank you. There you go. Let's try something different.
I want to see code.
Let's look at the model's deeper knowledge. Explain the need for AI alignment from first principles. Once again, we'll see what O1 has to say about it. We'll wait for O1 to think for a little bit. Again, O1 is still useful. It outputs a lot of information and a lot of things that I would probably want to know if I'm learning about this topic for the first time. But GPT 4.5's answer flows a lot more naturally. It guides my thinking through the ideas a lot more. And it walks me through the reasoning, the thinking a lot more. I think it did a great job. Thanks, Chunky. As we scale up our models, we need to teach them a better understanding of human needs and intent. For GPT 4.5, we developed new scalable alignment techniques that allowed us to train it using data derived from smaller models. This really unlocked the model's deeper world model.
So here we have a simple QA eval. In this eval, we measure two things. One is accuracy, one is hallucination rate. You can see GPT 4.5 outperforms the other GPT family in accuracy, and in the meantime, it has the lowest hallucination rate.
We aligned GPT
Wow, that's actually pretty
4.5
cool.
to be a better collaborator, making conversations feel warmer, more intuitive, and emotionally nuanced. To measure this, we asked human testers to evaluate it against GPT 4.0, and GPT 4.5 outperformed on basically every category. We tested it on prompts that measure accuracy and factuality in everyday queries, including prompts that are hard to get right in professional settings, and finally on a new vibes test set that measure creative intelligence.
Quick question, what does vibe mean here?
That's a great question. By vibes, we really mean the model's EQ, how collaborative it feels, and how warm its tone is. We measure this by selecting an opinionated set of prompts and screening our trainers for the ones that most align with our vibes. Overall, GPT 4.5 should be a great model for everyday tasks and knowledge queries. It should be ideal for improving your writing and creative iteration, and we're really excited to see how people use it.
Hi, I'm Yulong. I need post-train info. We think playing with such a big model feels totally different, and it required to scaling up the post-training infrastructure because the ratio between the training data and the parameter size is totally different in pre-training stage and the post-training stage. We have developed a new training mechanism to fine-tune such a big model using much smaller footprint. We post-trained this model through multiple iterations using a combination of supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning with human feedback. As a result, we developed a new model, which we believe is ready for deployment.
As Yulang says, scaling is hard, but it also brings us in uncharted territory. And that's why we took a lot of care ensuring that the models are safe to share with the world today, especially through safety evaluations and preparedness evaluations. And you can find those results in the system card. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Mia.
Hey, Mia.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I led pre-training ML for GPT 4.5.
And I'm Jason. I worked on scaling up our pre-training systems for GPT 4.5. We wanted to get as much compute as possible into this model. Doing that required a ton of new systems work. Just to give you some examples, we aggressively used low precision training to get the most out of our GPUs. We also wanted to use more compute than we could get onto one high bandwidth networking fabric. So we pre-trained this model across multiple data centers at the same time. I think it's been kind of mentioned here, this is a big model, and that presented a number of challenges for serving it in ChatGPT. We built new inference systems that let us serve this model in a way that still feels fast and snappy to talk to. Of course, as we've done with all of our previous models, we will continue shipping improvements to make this model even faster after launch. Okay, so we've been talking about how the models have evolved and we're scaling them, and we thought it'd be fun to give you all a sense of what it really feels like to talk to these models as they get better. So we asked every model in the GPT series the same question. Why is the ocean salty? We're going to take you through the evolution here. So let's go back in time. It's 2018. We've just finished training GPT-1. Why is the ocean salty? And it does not know. It has no idea here.
Also
It's the word salad.
It's a word, but there are words in the salad.
words.
So that's something. OK, let's improve the model and go to GPT-2. GPT-2 is still wrong, but it's a much better answer. It's on topic. There's something about salt and ocean. Well, it's yeah, more on topic maybe. OK, let's improve the model again. GPT 3.5 Turbo. This is the first correct answer that we get out of the model, but it's not a good answer. It doesn't explain anything, and it has a bunch of unnecessary details, like I didn't ask that salt is sodium chloride, I don't really care. OK, let's improve the model again. GPT-4 Turbo. This is a good answer. The model is clearly very smart. But you get the feeling that it wants you to know how smart it is. It's just sort of listing out facts here. And in fact, we had to cut the model response off to fit it on the slide. OK, let's improve the model again. GPT 4.5. This is a great answer. It's clear, it's concise, it's cohesive. And personally, I think it's a lot of fun, that first sentence. The ocean is salty because of rain, rivers, and rocks. It's got that fun alliteration. It's really easy to remember. I think it showcases GPT 4.5's great personality.
I remember how amazed we were with GPT-2 at the time. It's crazy how far we've come. So in addition to the work that we had to do to scale up systems to enable GPT 4.5, we also had to do a ton of work on architecture, data, and optimization to enable training it. And this incredible scale up in unsupervised learning led to quite a large boost on traditional LLM benchmarks compared to GPT 4.0. So for GPQA, which is a reasoning-heavy science eval, we see a very large boost.
Ooh, it's bad at math.
You'll note that, though, that it still lags behind OpenAI O3 Mini, which is able to think and reason before it responds, which is especially useful for this eval.
Yeah, I couldn't get 70% if I couldn't think before answering those questions.
Yeah, me neither. So it's quite impressive to us that GPT 4.5 gets as high of a score as it does without being able to think before it responds. We see a pretty similar story for Amy, which is a competition math eval, and for SWE-bench Verified, which is an agentic coding eval. However, for SWE-Lancer, which is another agentic coding eval, which benefits more from a deeper world knowledge, we actually see that GPT 4.5 outperforms even OpenAI O3 Mini. And I think this really highlights the complementary nature of unsupervised learning alongside reasoning scale-ups. For multilingual MMLU, which is a multilingual language understanding benchmark covering a broad set of topics, we see a similar, if less dramatic, effect. And finally, for a multimodal understanding with MMMU, we see, again, another nice improvement relative to GPT 4.0. So we learned a ton from training GPT 4.5, and we expect to learn a lot from deploying it. So starting today, we will be releasing GPT 4.5 to all pro users of ChatGPT in web, mobile, and desktop via the model picker. And then next week, we'll be releasing to team and plus users, and with EDU and enterprise coming the following week. So GPT 4.5 seamlessly integrates with a number of ChatGPT features, including file and image upload, Canvas, and search. And in the future, we'll work hard to simplify the user experience so that AI just works for you.
We're also excited to release GPT 4.5 today to developers on all paid tiers. It has all the key features we think you need to build great applications like function calling, structured outputs, and more. For a full list of supported features, check out our blog. We can't wait to see what you all build with this model.
We believe that reasoning will be a core capability of our future models. But we also think that the two paradigms that we talked about today, unsupervised learning and reasoning, complement each other. Models like GPT 4.5 that have more world knowledge and are inherently smarter will be stronger foundations for future reasoning models and agents. With every new order of magnitude in compute in unsupervised learning, we discover novel capabilities. GPT 4.5 is really at the frontier of unsupervised learning. We're always surprised by the creativity with which the community discovers new capabilities when we share our models. So today we invite you to explore the frontier of unsupervised learning with us. We are really excited for this new era of intuitive, knowledgeable AI and human interaction of GPT 4.5.
Interesting. I'm curious. What do you guys think? I'm looking right now to see if actually let me take a look. I'm gonna put my screen back. I don't feel like take a look here. Have they released it into API yet? Because I do have an API account. Models. Okay, so it's not on the list yet, unfortunately. Cannot test it. If when it comes out, though, I'll do some testing on it. They said it's released to wait. Yes, I can. I can actually play with this. I'll have to do some videos on this. Oh man, look at this. The knowledge cutoff is October 2023. Brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Holy God. Look at this pricing, guys. $75 and $150? What are they thinking? Yeah, Lucas, what in the world? You caught that before I did. Holy crap. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to be testing that. I am not paying $75 for a million input token. That can't be right, can it? What? I mean, it's more than the reasoning model 01, which is before their most expensive one. Are they going to update this? Like, is that just a... What is the world? Yeah. I was expecting a price drop too. Oh, I really wanted to test this, but that's an expensive test to do. Oh. I mean, the other thing that I'm not so happy about, because I don't know how you guys run into this, but a lot of the things I do kind of requires up-to-date like coding documentation, and I bet you it doesn't have access to web search. And if the knowledge cutoff is October 2023, when I ask it questions about like some of the integrations I'm doing, it's not going to have any idea because they've changed since that time frame. Yeah, that's totally right. You could use DeepSeek for an entire year for $75. That can't be right. It's got to be something that they're going to update, right? Maybe like once it rolls out to everyone. I can't even think of a use case that would be good for. Right. Can anyone even think like why you would pay $75 for a million input tokens for what they showed today? Like I cannot. I'll be honest with you, like the $60 is painful. I don't even want to pay for that a lot of times. It's got to be a mistake. There's no way. It's gonna have to go down. We'll have to check back in a few hours and see how this is working because I cannot understand. I cannot understand how they would get away with that. Especially like, looking at the benchmarks where O3 Mini was kind of comparable. Yeah, I like the personality of GPT 4.5, but not $75 worth. That's true. It can tell you why the ocean's salty, and it can tell you it in a apparently very nice way. Use case only ask why ocean is salty, and that's it. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. That can't be right. Dang it. I was expecting it to come out, I would have tested it if it was like double the price of GPT-4o. If it was like $5 here and let's say $20, I still think that's way too much money. That's not what I think is fair to charge at all. But I would have totally been okay testing that. But there are things that sometimes I run like 10 million tokens on things. That would be $750. I'm not paying that for that model. Oh man. I don't, right now the only model worth anything is O3 Mini. I think it's probably one of the best value models. I do agree with you on that. Like, I'm using actually O3 Mini quite a bit in production because it does such a good job and it's cost effective. I do think there are like some other good models. I think like Gemini Flash 2.0 is also really good. And I also think I think Claude is overpriced, but I think it's Claude 3.5 it's really good at coding. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Claude 3.7. I like it, but I feel like it's just a different beast to work with a little bit. And they're expensive. But O3 Mini is a good model. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Emin. Like, I can't, and they didn't say anything about web search. It's like you can get around the date cutoff if you have like real time access to data. That's one of the reasons why I like Grok so much. Is I will actually go and I ask it things about like developer documentation, and it will go find it and give me the right answer. And I can't really do that with any of the GPT models. It's unbelievable. That's it doesn't even feel right. That's got to be a typo, right? Exactly. O3 Mini is just a killer value model. There's nothing like it. Yeah, I use O3 Mini for a lot of I have a lot of like production workloads that are using Claude 3.5 that were using Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And Claude 3.5 Sonnet is like $3 for input and 15 for output. And I've switched them all over to O3 Mini now. And they perform just as good, if not better in some cases, than Claude 3.5 Sonnet for, a third of the price. Like it's so much better. And I actually like the reasoning part of it because I sometimes would get some weird stuff with Claude, and I think the reasonings actually help smooth that out a little bit more. And then the cached input side, I'm not taking advantage of that as much, but that's even more expensive. And actually, I don't think Claude had that until recently, because that was killing me. I wasn't able to do that. You think that's what it is? You think they're getting like? I mean, there's two things here that I don't like. One, or maybe three things that I don't like. One, you have to pay $200 a month to even try it, or if you're a developer, I do have a tier 4 API account that I could actually use this on, but I'm not going to pay $75 for a million input tokens, and I'm not going to pay $150 for a million output tokens. So that's like, it seems like the API cost is just insane. That has to be wrong. That has to be something that they'll change. Maybe as they roll it out, maybe the price will come down so that maybe right now they're trying to throttle demand. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. So the knowledge cutoff, the $200 a month price. Like I just wish. I hate that we were playing like this game like we do with early access with video games now, where you have to pay up to get access to anything. Like it'd be nice if they gave us some access at the $20 tier or a reasonable API price there. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the Gemini, I I don't know how many of so it wasn't that long ago that I actually talked really bad about Google models, to be honest. Um, Gemini API cost. Lost of track what I was doing there. Cost of the Gemini Flash 2.0 model is just insane. And the model is pretty dang good. I use this model a lot for coding. And it's basically I could go an entire day and maybe spend $1. It's so efficient. Yes, exactly. I was talking to a friend of mine probably about a month ago, and he was telling me like the price is going to zero. Like all these models are going to get cheaper. And I saw his point. Do you guys remember the days when like Uber rides were like $5? I remember like getting an Uber and it was like super cheap. And now it's like for the same ride it's like $35. My theory was that a lot of the usage that we have right now with AI is basically VC funded. and that I think the older models should get cheaper, but the newer models are going to consistently get more expensive. And again, I hope this is a mistake, but like that just is. It seems like a joke to me. Yes, I actually do plan to try Gemini Code Assistant in VS Code. The right now I'm using Augment for code completion. I'm going to uninstall that and I'm going to put in Gemini Code Assist and use that for a week just to see how it compares. But like giving you 180,000 code completions in a month is just that's unbelievable to me. It's amazing. Have any of you tried the Gemini Code Assistant yet? I have not tried it yet, but I do want to. What I've actually been doing is I've had so many people talk me into like trying Cursor. I've pretty much switched over fully to for the last couple days on just using Cursor just to get a feeling for it, and I kind of like it. But I don't know. I still think I prefer the flexibility of just VS Code. See, that's the thing. You're probably right. So I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you say older models can't be cheaper as they are not effective and eat a lot of GPU electricity. So back a month ago when I was having that conversation, you're onto something there that I didn't think about. Because if new models are getting more expensive, why would they make the older models cheaper? Because that just takes out the compute process. It takes up compute that they need for the newer models. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe the older models won't get. They'll probably just get deprecated. I keep refreshing this page thinking it's going to change. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't even drag and drop a file in the chat? That's a bummer. That's a super bummer. For code completion, was it pretty good, Hughes? For talking about the Gemini Code Assist? Yeah, so I actually do worry about the data privacy side. And I don't know if you guys watched my video on Augment Code. I really love what this tool does. But if you look at their community version, they will actually train on your data. So you get a ton of chat messages, you get unlimited completions. Like it's such a good tool. I will say its code generation's bad, but I'm just not a fan of that. And then $30 a month. I don't know, maybe I'm being too cheap, but I feel like I'm paying so much money for like Grok 3 premium access and then OpenAI and Claude and Gemini. Like I feel like I'm paying so much money for AI stuff. I don't want it. And now Cursor. I forgot I've just now bought the Cursor subscription. Oh, you uninstalled the Gemini Code Assist right away? That's not good for the longevity of that. It's probably cheaper because they use profits from more popular models to cover the loss. I think just marketing. It could be for sure. Yeah, and then you have like DeepSeek cuts prices during off hours. I've got some. Let me see if I can find a good article. It's not gonna like gate me with a bunch of ads. I wanted to find the post that they did. They put that pricing. Here, this Reddit's probably better for finding that. Why did it get removed? That's ridiculous. Anyway, they cut like their pricing up significantly during certain hours. I've actually got some workloads that I've debated like using. The one thing about DeepSeek is you are sending in your data. It is a Chinese company, but sometimes you have workloads that you don't care. The data's not sensitive at all. Like they have access to all the code in the world anyway. So like I've actually debated moving some of my workload to DeepSeek just to take advantage of that 75% discount or that 75% discount there. Yeah, Gemini has really come a long way. It honestly wasn't that long ago that I said it wasn't good at all. Yeah, and did you guys see Nvidia's earnings today? It was they dropped 7% so far. It was a little bit better. It's actually got worse rather than what I saw earlier. But they actually beat on earnings per share and revenue by 3%. They reported 39.33 billion in revenue and expected 38.16. And I'd have to listen to the earnings call to figure out like why the market's negatively reacting to it. I mean, it's not a like massive beat, but it is a beat, and the EPS being up, pretty incredible. Maybe their outlook wasn't as positive, so I'm gonna have to watch that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The DeepSeek API platform will implement off-peak discount. So I actually paid. So Hugh said I use Cursor for a full year. It's good, but it's often buggy with dev container and remote server. Depends if you need advanced features. So when I first used Cursor, I felt the exact same way. And I actually ended up like just stopping using it, to be honest with you. My big concern is this. I've used 66 of my 500 requests already, and I'm like 2 days in. I don't think I'm going to make it for the month. I think I'm going to end up being really short. Yes, so this person says, can you do an update on your novel story writing AI agents, please, in a future video? Yes, there are actually a lot of like updates I want to make to that. I'm pretty excited about some of the ideas I have on it, and some of the new models actually make it better. And I've also learned a lot about autogen. So I'm actually working on a big update that I'm going to be pushing to GitHub probably, if timing lets me, maybe sometime next week, and then I'll plan to do a video on it and get it and actually do a more of a guide of step by step on setting it up. Because when I first did it, I kind of did it just for myself to experiment with autogen, and I got a lot of interest. So then I open sourced it, but I haven't really walked through like setting it up properly, and I now think I can do it even better. This person says Cursor requires proper cursor rules that otherwise it is not as good, does not do as good a job. And I've had several people tell me that already. So I'm very curious about that. I am newish to Cursor. I'm gonna be totally honest that I'm gonna have to play around with some of those Cursor rules to see how that ends up working, because I have not done that at all yet. Nope, API is still $75. Dang it! I was actually gonna like hook this up and do some testing on stream before I have to go back to work. So disappointed. I can't. Oh, I can't afford $75 input to give to OpenAI for something that I know is probably not going to be that amazing. Dude, have you tried Copilot in the Insiders edition where they've got the agent mode? I've really been enjoying that, especially with Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Anyway, let me see here. I actually have something I want to get my Discord here. All right, I actually set up a Discord recently. Let's see if I can get a link to it. It'd be cool to continue some of this conversation, and we can monitor this stuff. I've literally not invited anybody to it yet, but I'm trying to, if anyone's interested, to come in and just talk about AI stuff, tech stuff. I think the link thing's broken. Let me see this. Yeah, it is totally broken. That sucks. All right. We kill.
According to independent lab.
Your yearly subscription is expiring on Friday. I don't think I'll renew. Yeah, I actually bought a year yesterday and then canceled it the very next day for the year because I just don't want to have that go through in case I forget. So that's probably the wrong way to do it, but I do have a Discord, but dang it, the invite link seems to be busted in Discord right now. I'm gonna try the web browser and see if I can get it to work there. Log in, another screen. Yeah, there we go. You guys want, like, you'd be the first ones coming in because I literally just set this up today. We can kind of figure out all the other stuff. If you have ideas for different channels I should make in there, let me know. But feel free to jump in and we'll continue. Yeah, it's probably a Windows problem. Literally, when you hit copy, it's basically just the copy text in there. It's super dumb. All right, I think I better get back to work. It's been fun hanging out. Sorry it wasn't better news about OpenAI ChatGPT 4.0. I am going to check the API pricing one more time and see how crazy it is. And it's still crazy, unfortunately. Thank you, guys. Take care, everyone. See ya.